Come on, baby. You thought I was too good for the Elvis glasses? Like I'm too professional for that now? No, it's not true. Turn it up, baby. Come on. I found this really, really great gif of Elvis Presley right here just doing some pretty amazing gyrating. This is, I guess, I don't know. He's kind of in the chubby phase right there. Anyway, I'm done with those. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about what I've been doing. I've been kind of silent and not going live as much, not creating as much content as I like to the last week because I've been building out this new offer on Warrior Plus. Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather right now as well. So I'm using a dime sale strategy. Some of you have seen me do this before and you may have seen other people do it. I'm not really sure why more people aren't doing it. I don't know if it's just not known or people think it's like devaluing their courses or their info products or services or whatever it is that they're selling. I know some people even do it in the physical products. I'm not exactly sure how the math works on that, but I do know how the math works on a dime sale. With courses, I did kind of a test little launch using one about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, and the numbers are like pretty cool the way it adds up. You can really create a win-win for people. So when you're doing these, you're starting at a price. So let's just say, what is a dime sale? I'm going to kind of build this out like as I go through this. So what is a dime sale? It's a sale, an offer. Let's just call it an offer. It's an offer that increases with value for, let's just keep it simple, for every purchase. It doesn't have to be done with every purchase. Like you could do it like every 10 purchases, it goes up in value, or every 2 or whatever number you want. You can set that in Warrior Plus, and I'll show you how to do that probably in another training. I don't think I'm going to go through that today, but anyway, that's kind of what it is. So the idea is it starts at, and this is how I do it. It starts at $27 and increases, and price increases $1 with every purchase. So it starts at $27. So even if you have a course that's been selling for $200 on the regular, and I think it's worth much more than that, but I'm using this course to kind of build my email list. And I'm used to selling $200 products. Like I have another company where I sell $200 products, and I've done a lot of price jumping and changing in that company. And $200, $197 was the price where I set it, that it kind of made the most sense, and I started to have the most profit with it. So that's kind of where I started with this course, just because that's just where I have my experience. So it's a $197 course on AppSumo right now. And you can kind of leverage against your AppSumo offer. So just because you have a course listed on some sort of marketplace like an AppSumo, typically they don't have like exclusive rights to that, to whatever product or service it is that you're listing there. So you can kind of leverage against that if you want. So you may even want to price up more. I didn't really know this and think about this before I listed it on AppSumo. It's just something I've learned as I've gone forward that works really well. When it's like it's $197 on AppSumo and somebody reaches out directly to me, I can say, hey, I'll give it to you for whatever price. And that's kind of how these dime sales, what gave me the spawn, the idea to do a dime sale. Either way, it starts at $27 and price increases with $1 with every purchase. So the second person to purchase, it's $28. Third person, $29. And it's hard to think that you're going to make that much profit that way because you're just selling $20 courses, but it adds up really quick. And I'll show you a little calculator in a second. So the advantage is that you can build an email list. You provide a cheap option for people to learn who you are if you're relatively unknown, because I'm completely unknown, like more than relatively unknown. Nobody knows who I am in this space. More people know who I am in the real estate investing space, just because that's where I've built my brand, I guess, over the last several years as being an attorney that's focused on solving problems for that community and being involved in that community. And that's something I still plan to do going forward forever because that's just something I'm very, very interested in. But I also am very interested in internet marketing and Google News leveraging different pieces of different industries. And I like affiliate marketing a lot. And in the past, I don't know, 9 months, I've learned a lot. I'm way better at affiliate marketing now because I took a Greg Jeffries course. I invested a nice amount of money to learn from Greg Jeffries and being in a group that he has of paid students in this course. And it's just a really badass course. Kind of taught me how courses. I've taken a ton of courses. I've probably taken hundreds of courses. I'll still take a lot of courses, but it taught me a different way of viewing a course, especially when you're in the affiliate marketing space and how you can build out a step-by-step over-the-shoulder course. And that's what I did with the Google News course is kind of took what I learned from watching what he was doing in that course. And he's not doing anything with Google News whatsoever, but just seeing the structure of his course and kind of emulating that and putting my own little spin on it, obviously, just because it's me, it's not him. And, he's doing his thing and he has a bunch of courses, a lot of experience in building courses, but just kind of watching what people do in this space and then taking what I learned from him and learned from just the experience of being around that group of people that are in his course where it's kind of like a mastermind that goes along with the course. I don't know if he's going to do that going forward, but that's how this iteration of the course was. And just met a lot of really, really smart people, networked hardcore with them and learned a lot from them. And that's kind of where this course was birthed. But either way, that was the longest tangent ever. I'm not sure kind of where that started, but the advantages are that you can build a quick email list. You can provide a cheap option for people to learn who you are. This is where it was. Okay. Who you are. So I was unknown. I'm still unknown, but people are starting to learn a little bit more. And I think as if this dime sale option really takes off, it may not. It may have just fizzle out and be nothing. But if the dime sale methodology takes off, like I probably will launch a course on how to do that. And it's probably not going to be a $27 course, but I don't know. Who knows? So when you're doing these dime sales, you can set a top price for how far it can go. I set mine for $197 just because people typically know that that's where my price of my course is. And if they look on AppSumo, that's where it is. So I'm not going to say it's $1,000 course and have people buy it up into $700 and stuff like that before it levels out, just because I don't think that's good business. That's not going to help me build a good responsive email list, and that's not going to provide a cheap option for people to learn who I am. So it just doesn't fit the parameters for my Google News course, but it may fit the parameters of your course or some different course. There's nothing wrong with taking it all the way to $1,000. I'm going to probably test that, but not with this course, with other courses. So you can provide a cheap option for people to learn who you are because it creates a ton of urgency. So it creates a ton of urgency when you do the dime sale because essentially what you're telling people is, it plays on FOMO, fear of missing out, which is just urgency, scarcity. Like if you don't get this course right now, you may have to pay more. And it's not like false scarcity. It's not false urgency. That's what I like about it. It's real scarcity and real urgency because the price goes up with $1 every time. You can't fake that. It is going to go up. So it creates a ton of urgency and it doesn't take that many to make money. That many sales make decent profit. I haven't tried running ads to this, so this is just organic traffic that I've used so far. And then I'm going to be driving affiliate traffic starting today's Monday. What's the date today? Monday, October 25th. I'm driving my first affiliate traffic to it starting tomorrow. And I'll kind of let you guys know. I'm going to be honest with it. If it totally flops, it totally flops. I'll just go back to the drawing board and maybe it's just the audience isn't a good fit. or the emails that I've drafted aren't a good fit, or the landing page that I have isn't a good fit. So since it's not necessarily organic traffic, like there's a lot more that can go wrong in the process, and that's why I've been focusing so hard on it the last couple weeks. So it doesn't take that many sales to make a good profit. If you Google dime sale calculator, I'll show you what I mean. Okay. And this calculator kind of confuses me sometimes, but the start price for me is $27. You can start them at $1 and go up. I've seen people that do it at $1 and then go up $1 every purchase, and they make, you'd be surprised, they make like 20 grand selling like less than 200 of these. So the price increment is going to be just $1. Price cap is 197. I leave the units sold before, what is it, at 1. So right price, yeah, that means every 1 unit that's sold, it goes up by $1. So I wish they put those two right next to each other. And then total units sold, let's just say you sold 50. Do I use total? See, I may mess this up. Let's see. So you'd make, $2,500 if you sold 50, starting at $27. That's pretty good. I think I have that right. Yeah, almost 8 grand. Make 15 grand if you sold 150 of them. Let's see, and that would put the price at like 177 for the last person who bought it. So they're still getting like this really good deal. Price cap 197. Yeah, I have that right. So I've been known to mess that up. And then it'll show you what the revenue per unit is when you're selling info products to me. And again, like there may be some other person that has a different, I'm sure there are other people that have a different idea about this, that they might believe that it's like devaluing their product, in my case, my course. I don't look at that. I don't look at revenue per unit sold. I just look at total revenue and total number of buyers added to my actual email list. So this could add 150 buyers to my email list that have already purchased from me. Also in the funnel, in the Warrior Plus funnel, there are upsells as well. So it's like I have the course, and then I have a template that's an upsell that I'd previously been giving away for free. And I'm like, why am I giving this away for free? It especially when I'm doing a dime sale, it's not fair to me really to sell that for $27 plus just have the template in there as well. So the template is an upsell, and then there's a done for you option at the end of the funnel that's an upsell as well. So I have no clue if those will convert, or if people are even interested in those yet, just because I haven't driven any traffic to it. But we'll find out this week, probably tomorrow. So the advantage is like you can make like, the math is like kind of crazy. Like if we ended up selling 150 of these over the next week, we'd each make about 7 grand on the front end, not even including upsells. So I don't know. That's a lofty goal. Only sold 20 of them last time, but I made like $1,000 just testing it. It was beyond my wildest imagination. I just put it on my Facebook page, and a couple of people from my group bought as well. So it was a good deal for them. A good deal for me too. Made $1,000 on in a day, which is, it's not, you're not buying a Ferrari with that, but it's a nice little example of what you can do if you have an info product to sell like this, or a mini course or something like that. I'm doing a full course, but a mini course would work as well. Any sort of like front end offer that actually has some value in it, this is a good way to do it. Plus I have affiliate sales inside of the course as well. So it's monetized in a bunch of different ways. Yeah. So that's kind of how I look at it. So it doesn't take many sales to make a decent profit. The disadvantages are that people don't understand it. They're like, if you're talking about the actual consumer, the actual person who's going to buy it, they might need a little bit of education on it. I don't know exactly the full extent of that yet, but they probably have to be educated either in the front end email if you're driving, like using affiliate traffic, or in your organic offer, like to your own audience. You have to explain what the hell a dime sale is for them to have the urgency. And I think that part of it is even more, probably more important than your actual offer. So it puts a shadow over your offer if people don't know what it is. If people know you and they know what your offer is, it won't put a shadow over your offer. But if they don't know who you are, they're going to be so focused on the urgency and the scarcity of it that your offer, whatever you're offering, kind of becomes like a secondary thing. And I found that I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I actually don't know. I haven't found anything because I haven't converted enough people. I've only converted 20 people using this method. Um, so that's a disadvantage. Another disadvantage is that the funnels become more complicated. So I found myself having to use software to run these dime sales that I don't want to use, and platforms that I don't necessarily want to use for this. Like, I have nothing against Warrior Plus or JVZoo, either one of those, but those are the only two real marketplaces that offer, affiliate marketplaces at least, that offer this sort of option on checkout, the dime sale option. So I didn't even actually realize Warrior Plus had the option. I started building it through JVZoo, and I'd never built anything on JVZoo, and I didn't really dig like what was going on there just because it was unfamiliar to me. It may be a great platform to launch stuff on, but I didn't feel like it was going to work for me. So I built it in Warrior Plus because I've built offers in there before. Never had any success, but I've at least used the platform to connect up to my funnels and stuff. So if you don't know, Warrior Plus, essentially you're just using your own funnel building software. Then you're just putting buttons, the Warrior Plus buttons. There's a couple different options, but the Warrior Plus buttons on your funnel and ClickFunnels or on WordPress or, Go High Level or whatever it is that you're using. Yeah. So you have to integrate those two things, and that can be kind of not great. I know ClickFunnels supposedly integrates well with Warrior Plus products. I haven't really tried to do it that way. What I've done, since I've just been doing organic traffic and I didn't really have a funnel, is I just came out on my Facebook page and did stories and live posts and stuff like that, where I just talked about, here's my offer. The offer's live. Here's what it is. Go click this button on my URL to at chancereynolds.com to get the offer. And that's how I drove traffic, just to a straight checkout page through Samcart. So I've used Samcart a ton in my legal document service, and that's where I've run most of my stuff because it's super quick and easy, and I'm just experienced with it, and it doesn't require anything complicated. It just makes like a nice looking checkout page essentially, but it's not good for landing pages, or you just really can't drive cold traffic there. So I was forced to look outside of my comfort zone to this other thing. And that's why I ended up on Warrior Plus. But, so I did that, built the funnels out. Then you got to make sure you have to use Zapier, Zapier integration to do most of the stuff. If you're comfortable with Zapier, that's not a big deal. I'm relatively comfortable with Zapier. Like, I'm probably above average with Zapier, but it still caused me some issues. I'm not like, at the top of the heap when it comes to Zapier. So when Zapier gets involved, I'm like, oh shit, like I don't really want to deal with it. And I don't want to outsource it either. I need to like kind of know how that works, because if something breaks, especially with the dime sale model where it's like you got to have it pumping, I need to know how to fix it. This is like plain and simple. I'm not going to like bring somebody in house to do something, and I don't really want to have to rely on somebody I don't know, like a freelancer. Yeah, and I don't have anybody trusted around me that is that just gonna have the ability or the time. I have a lot of people that I trust that definitely know Zapier better than me, but I'm not gonna ask them to like step in and do this when they're running like their own agencies and shit like that. So Zapier, if you have an issue with it, I'm trying to find a way of weeding out Warrior Plus completely and just using a third-party affiliate platform where I can just handle all that in house on my own. But I just didn't really have time to do that this time, and I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy. This seemed like an easier way to do it, at least for this launch. Else are the disadvantages? Um, I don't think they're well. I mean, hmm. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll fill more of the disadvantages out when we go through the actual launch. I can't think of any other issues I had. Like Zapier was a huge pain in my ass. Warrior Plus was a huge pain in my ass. Um, People not understanding it hasn't really caused a big issue yet, but it could cause an issue going forward. I may have to go in and clean up a big mess. But yeah, so the platform, it's going to be Warrior Plus for now. Is where I'm driving the actual traffic through. That's where I'm using my checkout pages. That's kind of how I look at Warrior Plus. Like, it's just a place to house my affiliates, um, and a place to handle the payments. And if people are going to ask for refunds, stuff like that, they can do all that through Warrior Plus. And I don't have to deal with that directly. Um, Message Nexus is the CRM funnel builder thing that I'm using right now. It's a buddy of mine. It's his software that he's building out, putting his own little spin on it, and this will be the first time I'm driving a bunch of traffic through it, but it's really, really powerful. I'll talk more about that as I have more experience with it, because right now it's just I have all the people there that were currently my clients. I've migrated them over there, and it's working really well for them. But I haven't driven a lot of traffic to it yet, and kind of seen what the kinks are and what my shortcomings are going to be with it, and whether or not it's going to be too complicated. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Dime sales, they're pretty badass. Like the concept of them. If you have a Facebook organic audience, or you're trying to build one, I think this may be a reasonable way for you to go. Um, and I'm definitely going to be building out like a more thorough training after I have the experience of using some affiliates to drive the traffic, and maybe even driving some paid traffic on my own if I want to do that. So hope everybody's great. Hope you're feeling like gyrating like he's like shooting a machine gun. Hope that's you today when you're knocking out just all your to-do list. Anyway, have a good one. See you soon.